Omagyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Gadamiyam Gadatu Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Uttapadikamlam Shri Guruna Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadhanaram Ambitam Tam Sajivam Savadavaitam Savadrupam Parishana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Radhika Shri Vishakalatam Krishna Krishnaya Gopale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatpradesha Karini Vadavyaya Krishna Prem Pradaya Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namudeva Station He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Namaste Tapta Kanchana Bhagavan Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Vansha Kalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Varshnati Gaur Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna. So welcome all this for the Bhagavad Gita discussion on the 18th chapter. So we'll continue where we left yesterday. So we completed 11th chapter and then started the 12th chapter. We covered 5 verses, first 5 verses. So some devotees can share what we discussed yesterday in the end of 11th chapter and then 12th chapter.
Can I say one?
Yes.
Yeah. We started the 53rd text in that the 200 forms of Lord is not possible to be seen with these eyes. It is mentioned. The divine eyes are required for that, as per the shloka says, and it is compared with the shloka number 48 in the commentaries of Prabhupada and other acharyas. That earlier also in 48, the universal form was not possible to be seen with these eyes, it is mentioned, and here it is mentioned with the two-handed form. That is the difference between the these two verses, and it should not be misunderstood that is as a repetition. 63rd and 48. So basically, this is the this is the meaning of this particular verse 53.
You want to share whole 11th chapter? That is okay.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, so for the 54, the Lord can be seen or understood only through the Ananya Bhakti, undivided devotional service, and not otherwise. And there are and the process also mentioned that one is like Gyatum, Drashtum, and Praveshtum, like three things were mentioned. So just by entering into the Lord's abode is not enough, but before that, wherever we are entering, we should have knowledge about that. So that is Gyatum, and then you mentioned about realization, and then enter. Without that, there is no use. What we'll do, you said that what will we do after entering there in the abode. And Praveshtum also, you mentioned that the Praveshtum also in terms of rasa, relationship with the Lord. Out of 5 rasas, at least one of them should be there. So that is the meaning of the 54 verse. And 55th verse, who can enter or who can come to the Lord? It is the different attributes or different qualities are mentioned. who can come to the Lord, it is mentioned. Again, like one who engages in that pure devotional service, free of contamination of the fruitive activities, and one who works for the Lord, and 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 one who makes the goal of the Lord. So that again, the Ananya Bhakti's importance, or Ananya Bhakti is highlighted. Only by that process only one can know the Lord. There the chapter 11 ends, and then with after that the chapter 12 starts, explaining about the devotional service.
Okay, thank you, Bhai. Yeah, 12th chapter, somebody can share what we discussed. Yes, Rintu, you want to say?
Yes, Guruji. Getting my voice, Guruji?
Hmm?
Getting my voice?
Yeah.
So, like, chapter 11 ended with Krishna is telling the process, the way to achieve him, the five processes, mat karma krit, mat parmo, mat bhakta, sanghavarjita, nirvaira, sarvabhuteshu, that these are the five ways. Like, we have seen that this is a formula to attain love of God. And like Prabhupada was saying, and then we started with the next chapter. So we saw that how Prabhupada named it as devotional service. So, and we saw like there in the first verse, Arjun is raising a question that which is the who is what is the best process of all the processes. So you told that how Prabhupada in all the previous chapters, it is not just this question is not just related to previous 11 chapter, but to the whole section 7 to 11, uh, because in the different chapters from 7 to 11 we saw karmamish, jnanamish, mayavad, impersonalist thing, and so all this chapter, like the way Arjun is concluding and then asking of these two persons who is the best. So those two persons refer to personalist. One path is personalist and another is impersonalist. And then you told us that in this chapter, particularly 12th one, wherever Prabhupada will write impersonalist, it is referring to Brahmavadis, that they do different processes, but at the end they can achieve supreme personality of Godhead, but the process is longer. In one sense, they could not take to Bhakti Yoga, but they will attain, and that's how the further verses goes on. Like in the 12.2, like Krishna is talking about fixing one's mind, Maya Vesha. So last line says in the words that who are the highest. So those are having these attributes, like he who concentrates upon his personal form with faith and devotion are the highest. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that whether one is doing bhakti and how much how much he is doing, even if someone is doing it sometimes uh, if it is anyway connected to Krishna, then it is devotional service. It is a part of pure devotional service. You were giving example like if someone is working in office, but if he is doing for Krishna, then it is devotional service. But if Krishna element is not there, then it is not a devotional service. And you told that the last paragraph of this, the Prabhupada's purport, Prabhupada says that even if someone is doing like anything he is doing, if it is connected to Krishna, so this purport we can show or we can read ourselves to like pacify if someone gets disturbed, that whether if I'm doing it is devotional service or not. So the main condition is that it should be connected to Krishna, like that Srila Prabhupada comments. And then Krishna tells about the impersonalist path to Arjun, that how it is quite difficult. And from 3 to 5 verses, he tells about the inferiority of this impersonalist path, and then he says that after many births, like person seeks refuge in Krishna if he directly is not engaged in the service of the Lord. So here, like in Bhakti Yoga, or as we are practicing in the shelter of Prabhupada's movement, ISKCON, we can be directly engaged in the service of Lord, and that is highest. But if it is not done, then after many births, one can take refuge in Krishna. And then in 12.5, we saw that how there are a lot of difficulties in seeing the Avyakta. impersonal feature of the Lord, to understand the impersonal feature. And like we were discussing how it is difficult, or there are so many difficulties even in Bhakti Yoga, which is very easy. So how much it would be difficult to follow the impersonalist path. So that is risky also. Of course, one can get the goal of life, maybe Godhead, but it is very risky that one may fall down. So and then we were discussing how I think from Acharya's purport or somewhere, that if an impersonalist is not coming in bhakti or has not come in bhakti, then it is devotee's fault that we did not go to him and preach him about Krishna's name, holy names. Otherwise, he could come. So therefore, we should go and preach. And therefore,
Mm.
it's not that we should become only Bhajana Nandi or Goshta Nandi. We should balance. We should do our sadhana also, and then preach also, so that we can remain firm, strong, and then we can give this agyat security to others also. Because those impersonalists who could not come, it is not their fault. It is that they did not get that security, because we might not have reached to him. So we were discussing also at the last end part of class that problem with impersonal mindset is he loses the service attitude. And then because he thinks that God and myself, like God and he is same, so how can he serve God? And
Mm.
because he loses his service attitude, then therefore he is not able to advance in his spiritual life. So therefore we should focus in bhakti or the bhakti elements, shravadam kirtanam. And in that sense it may be connected to previous chapter, like I guess like 11.55 Krishna says that these are the five ways you can directly devote to me, and in that way you can do pure devotional service. This is what I understood, Roji.
Yes, bro. Yeah, 11.5 describes directly about bhakti path, which Krishna is describing in verse number 2, that engage your mind into me, engage my devotional service, and further verses, that is pure bhakti only, 11.55. Okay, anybody else want to add anything? Yes, Deepali Mati.
Prabhu, I want to cover 2 points. First one is you told that
Your
one should
voice
do
is
bhakti
breaking.
in.
Okay, speak again.
One of the point that you told, one should do bhakti in knowledge, and that like we should not be only one pointed, like only sadhana or only bhakti. We should balance both the things. And at last, when you were explaining the impersonal attitude, there you gave 2 examples. First one was the ink bottle and hing bottle, that how much ever we wash it or how much ever whatever substance we put in the hing bottle, the smell will always be there. So it was like the impersonal attitude.
Okay, thank you, Mati.
I have one question.
Yeah,
Like yesterday in the last part of 11th chapter, you were telling that, and Prabhupada also writes that Krishna has, like devotees have to do only with Krishna form. They don't Shyam Sundar form of the Lord. So it's not that they reject or they have aversion from other forms of Vishnu, but they are unconscious and follows Krishna only. So like one point.
not unconscious, means they consciously choose the Krishna form, Shyam Sundar form. That's what Prabhupada is focusing in the purport. There may be 400 form, there may be 1100 form, but consciously he chooses the Krishna in Vrindavan, Shyam Sundar form, because he knows the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to specifically give the this relationship establishment with Lord Krishna of Vraja. So he knows the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that's why he has come to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is knowing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunaya Avtirna Kalau. He has appeared in the Kali Yuga to give what nobody else has given earlier. That is specifically in Madhurya Ras, serving Lord Shri Krishna in Raja, like that. So he knows and he consciously chooses them. That's what we were discussing. So what is
Like
the question?
we understand like from 7.7 Krishna says Mata Partaram Nanyat Kinchid Asti Dhananjaya, or in in other Vedanta Sutra it is said Sarva Khalva Idam Brahma, that this Brahma is like lying or going everywhere. Or Mata Partaram Nana, that Krishna is saying everything rests upon me. So is it that Paramatma, is it referring to Paramatma feature in the sense that everything is pervaded by that same Supreme? So, but because we are devotee, we are following like Bhakti Yoga, or the personal form, personal worship of the Lord. So we consider this worship of the Lord, or this nine process of devotional service, nine limbs of devotional service, as more important. So, like, how should we see that thing? Like Mata Partaram Nanak, like I was little bit confused that how should we see that Brahman is pervaded everywhere or in every aspect of the universe.
So, Miss, I didn't get exactly what is the question. Miss, Brahman is pervaded everywhere, as in the sense that Paramatma is there everywhere, not that in unmanifested form. Paramatma is manifesting in every atom and in between the atoms, even everyone's heart. So, what is the question I didn't get?
So, like, as a devotee, or as being in a Guru Shishya Parampara or a Bhakti Yogi, we are choosing to serve Lord. And but when some Paramatma Vadi or Brahmavadi, who may be a true spiritualist, if they are choosing that path,
Mhm.
so it is just is it just a way of choosing that which path do you want to follow? Is it just like that, and both are equal, like they will attain God, or or is it something else that we are superior and they are inferior?
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Like,
see,
I'm not thinking in the sense that like we are
yeah,
superior
yeah,
and so they
understood.
are
Yeah,
inferior.
yeah, yeah, understood. Yeah,
Not
but
that mentality, but I'd like to
yeah.
understand the philosophy.
Yeah, see, now in yesterday's session, we were discussing that Krishna is saying, at last they attain me. If you see the translation to verse 3 and 4, okay, I will show here. Six, five. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so see, last Krishna is saying that at last they achieve me. These are who? They are Brahmavadis. Those who are the worshipper of impersonal conception. They know that Krishna as a person exists. They have faith in that person, but their attachment is to attainment of Brahman, to merge into Brahman. Okay, somehow they have got that conception that we don't want to have a relationship with God. Okay, so now very clearly here Krishna also is speaking that the personalists are higher because it's easy to concentrate on the limbs of bhakti and the deity form, and it's very difficult to concentrate that we are not the body because we are conditioned since so many lifetimes thinking we are the body. So in that sense, the path of impersonalism is difficult. And even the attainment, if we see Prabhupada wrote in the purport that the impersonist attain only the Sat feature. Okay, somewhere that came. And the Paramatma feature, Paramatma worshippers, they attain Sat and Chit feature. And those who are the Bhaktas, they attain Sat, Chit and Ananda, all three features. Okay, somewhere that came, that discussion.
It's in 12.5. It was in 12.5.
Okay, yeah. So basically, the attainment also, if we see the personalists, the worshippers of Bhagavan, they have higher bliss attained, whereas the bliss of the person in Brahman is only that Sat feature, just the bliss that there is no misery. That is the bliss they have. But personalists, they have higher attainment. They have above no misery. That is a higher positive relationship with Krishna. So that is more enjoyable. That's what. So why they chose impersonalist path? Because they did not come in touch with devotees. And why we chose devotional service? Because we came in touch with devotees. That's what we were discussing yesterday also. Actually came in one of the purpose rights. It's because we came in touch with, because one comes in the touch of the devotees. Correct. So that came in fourth or right? Mm. Okay, somewhere it came, yeah. So basically, Prabhupada told that those who come in touch with the devotees, they are actually ones who can attain the personal relationship with God because they have got that Agya Sukriti and that faith in Krishna. But impersonation, they don't come in, they have not come in touch with devotees. That's why they could not attain the faith in Krishna, but they have faith in the impersonal form, like that. So yeah, surely the attainment is higher from objective point of view. But those who are impersonalists, we cannot criticize them because they are also worshipping God. They also have faith in Krishna, in the person Krishna. But it's not that they will not attain Krishna also. They will attain what is their goal, but it's not higher. Yeah. That does that answer the question?
Yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah, that much only. Okay. Anybody else has any question? What we discussed yesterday?
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
So actually in 12.5, like we discussed about this, how the Lord is manifested in the form of Archa Vigraha actually. That point was
Yeah,
Lord is,
yesterday. Correct.
and that is authorized the form of the Lord. And we give the example of this mailbox, post office, post box will be there, which are authorized. So if you put the letter, it will be reached to the destination. So I have just little some questions regarding that. We generally we see that like in temple and other places like we do pran pratishtha of the deity, and also we somewhere some places we see that we welcome the deities. So like welcoming and pran pratishtha, like
Yeah.
how to understand that?
Yeah, they are different. Yes. So basically, that deity which is going to be worshipped in temple is generally done pran pratishtha because that is going to be worshipped as per the highest standard, and that is the worship on behalf of the whole community. Okay, so the pujari is offering the worship on behalf of whole community and to the highest standard, like 6 times bhoga and whatever the highest of the standards of deity, whatever is established by Prabhupada, that is followed. So pran pratishtha is done, and there it is understood that it is Krishna himself. Okay, and Krishna manifests to the extent the devotee's consciousness is developed. Okay, so if a neophyte goes and worships a deity which is pran pratishtha deity, so that deity will not reciprocate in the same way that a higher consciousness devotee will worship the pran pratishtha deity. Okay, so the reciprocation will be different of the same deity who is installed as per pran pratishtha and Vedic rituals. Okay, so it's not that it's the same entity always. It depends on the consciousness of the person who approaches. Okay, like that. And whereas when you have the deities at home, in general, they are not pran pratishtha deities because many times the standard may not be the highest, and they are called as like yeah, means as you said that welcome deity welcoming is done or like that. Yeah, so some lower standard may be there, which Grihastha may accept to do worship maybe once in a week or once in a day or only on Ekadashi changing the dress. So all those the standards may be little lower, but he is doing to the best of his possibility and as per his situation of the family and engagement. Okay, so there the consideration is that one need not do pran pratishtha, but again the deity acts as Krishna person to the degree the development of the consciousness is there. Okay, even the deity which is not pran pratishtha, which is welcomed, okay, in the home, it will have the reciprocation based on the consciousness of the person. See, if a high consciousness person approaches a deity which is not pran pratishtha, there may be higher reciprocation compared to a neophyte approaching a pran pratishtha deity. Okay, so it's a very subjective. Okay, that in that way we have to understand. Is it okay?
Yeah, brilliant. That means like standard of worship only varies. Rest of the things like reciprocation of the Lord will be the same.
Sorry,
That's
the
what
standard of worship is varying. What is the next statement?
yeah. next is like the reciprocation of Lord will be the same
Not
as the
same.
Pran Pratishtha. No, it differs for devotees, devotees
Ah,
to devotees.
ah,
But even welcoming deities also can
ah,
deities also reciprocate with the devotees. That's right.
correct. The DT reciprocation is not much based on whether it is Pran Pratishtha or whether it is this. Okay, higher factor is consciousness, first factor. Secondary factor is surely Pran Pratishtha. It's not that that is not necessary. That surely, if same consciousness person approaches to one is Pran Pratishtha deity, other one is not, same consciousness person approaches, there will be higher reciprocation because that is Krishna himself installed in a proper way by pure devotees, perfected devotees like that. And whereas if consciousness is higher for the other deity which is not Pran Pratishtha, still the reciprocation may be higher. So both factors are there, but the primary factor is consciousness of the approach. Okay, like that.
Yeah, but thank
Yes, Arun.
Guruji, in this analogy of ink and hing bottle, you told that even if it is washed 10 times, still blue color will come. I could not understand the conclusion of it. That like what was the conclusion of this analogy?
Yeah, conclusion. Actually, we are discussing that the impersonalist, how much ever they may hear personal philosophy, but because they have done the sadhana of considering oneself equal to God, so that service attitude generally doesn't come so easily. Again, that thought of uh, being equal to the Lord, that keeps disturbing his consciousness, even though he's trying to become a devotee now.
So like does this relate to that Krishna is saying in 12.34 that impersonalist this path is very difficult. So does this relate to this thing only?
Yeah, we discussed there only, I think. In that purport only, we discussed this path is very difficult. Yeah, this is one of the reasons.
Okay, okay, yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah, the reason was explained by Baldev Devotion that it's very difficult for one to just think that I am soul because the conditioning is so deep that I am the body since so many lifetimes. So it's easier to think Krishna is there in the deity because the bodily consciousness is so prevalent in the conditioned soul. So the bhakti procedure, it recommends considering Krishna, deity is himself the Krishna person. So that becomes easier compared to considering oneself, I am not the soul. Okay, that is also another factor. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Guruji.
Anybody else want to ask any question? Okay. So then we will go to the sixth verse. ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्यु संसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मयि आवेशितचेतसाम्. Sri Gangaputru, please read the translation.
But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pratha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and
Yeah. So these two verses are there together. So as we were discussing, fifth verse explains that 3, 4, and 5. These three verses explains how the attainment of impersonal liberation is difficult because of so many reasons. Now again, Krishna contrasts with how bhakti is very easy. And I myself become the deliverer. Like earlier, we have discussed the example that there is a example given by Prabhupada that A cat carries the kitten. That's like a devotee being carried by the Lord. And then there is another example where a monkey carries also his child, her child, but the monkey child has to make his own effort to catch on to the mother monkey. That is like the path of impersonalists. So where they have to on their own take care that they purify their hearts and do meditation and control the senses, all that. Okay, but devotee doesn't have to take care of all these other things like controlling senses, controlling the mind, and the further qualities which is going to be described from 13 to 20. Devotee doesn't have to make any endeavor to bring them out. He has to just focus on doing bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. These 9 processes, and even not 9, even 5, what it is described by Rupa Goswami, Nam Sankirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Sadhu Sangha, Mathuravas, Shri Murtira, Shraddhaya Sevan. These 5 important limbs also one does. All these qualities will automatically come. That is like Krishna himself bestowing the qualities on his dear devotee. Okay. So that's how he becomes a swift deliverer. Okay, very fast, very smooth, very hassle free, like they say, hassle free delivery by Amazon or Flipkart. Okay, without any hassles. Like that, Krishna delivers the devotee. Okay, like that. So, so Krishna basically is saying, Krishna personally becomes the swift deliverer. Okay, the devotee doesn't have to think, oh, when will I get delivered? He doesn't have to take any anxiety. It's like Chitraketu Maharaj was not having so much anxiety as much the Lord Sankarshan was having anxiety to take back him. So he arranged for the pastime of curse of Parvati upon him. So he was the one who instigated Parvati to curse. So Chitraketu Maharaj, he was just roaming in the Vidyadhara planet, taking care of Vidyadhara planet with other apsaras or Vidyadharis. But Lord thought, oh no, no, he should come back to me very quickly. So he arranged for the curse. So Lord becomes 1,000 times more anxious to take the devotee back to Godhead compared to the devotee himself wanting to go back to Godhead. Okay. So there are so many examples to that effect. Okay. So yeah, there are many important words in this actually verse, in this verse. So as we have been discussing, so ye tu sarvani karmani. If you see this mat karma, that word Prabhupada is explaining again in the purport to 11.55. Okay, so mat karma, he is engaged only in the work of Krishna. So he does sarva karmani only for only for me. Okay, and he is mat paraha. He considers me to the Supreme Lord, or he is attached to me. He works in that consciousness. Correct. Okay. So sarva karmani sannasya. Sannasya means it's related to the word sannyas. Sannyas means sat plus nyas. Sat plus nyas. Nyas means to give up, and sat means truth. Okay. So the meaning of the word sannyas is not to give up the truth, but to give up something for the sake of truth. Okay. For the sake of truth, one gives up something lower. Okay, so truth is considered higher in his life. Truth basically absolute truth or Krishna. For the sake of Krishna, he gives up something. That's called sannyas. So here that same word is used by Krishna, sannyas, sannyasya. Okay, so that is made into a kriya verb form. Okay, the act of giving up is called sannyasya, and the person who gives up is called sannyasi. Okay, so he has given up what? All activities. Not that he has given up devotional service, but he has given up everything other than devotional service. Okay. So except mat karma, he has given up everything. That that is devotional service. And how does he engage in this yoga? Ananya way. That many times it has come. Eva, ananya eva means must or only. What Prabhupada has written here. Bhakti Yogam, yeah. Ananyena, without division, certainly. See, certainly he engages without division. In what? In this bhakti yoga. Okay. Such bhakti yoga. Like that, Prabhupada explained. And then what else he does? Mam dhyayante, or the word was used in the 12.2, Maya Sakta Chetasa, or 7.1, correct? Maya Sakta Manah Partha. All these things have been explained so many times. Okay, Ananya Cheta Satatam. Okay. So many times Krishna has been explaining this dhyana word or the consciousness fixed on Krishna. And in that way he worships Krishna Upasate. For these kind of people, not the impersonist. For these kind of people, what I do? I become the swift deliverer from the Mrityu Samsara, the world of birth and death, or the ocean of birth and death, like that. Okay. And how, when do I deliver? Chirat. Vami na chirat. Na chirat. Chirat means to be something which is far or after much time. Na chirat means very quickly. Okay, like that. I deliver them very quickly. Okay, why? Because they have done aveshita chetasham. Aveshita means to endowed with, or properly written fixed. Yeah, he has fixed his consciousness on me, like that. Aveshita chetasham. Okay, so these are important words in this verse. Yeah. Yes, please read.
Those who perform exclusive bhakti to me, the source of the Jivatma, after hearing the real nature of Atma, and who do not strive just for the direct perception of Atma, quickly attain me alone, by that exclusive bhakti alone.
Yeah, so these words actually, I'm not going in detail, but the words from the verse itself actually is being used. Exclusive bhakti, two times have been told here. Okay, so if you see, that is told here, ananyena yogena, without any deviation. So that word is used, exclusive bhakti, without any deviation to jnana or karma, or having the desires to go to Swarga or merging into Brahman, like that. And he quickly attains. So, na chirat, that word is used here. Why Baldev question? Okay, please read.
This is explained in two verses. Those slowly dedicated to me for the purpose of attaining me, my giving up all prescribed activities, sarvani karmani sannyasa, giving them giving them up with the understanding that they are distractions from bhakti, taking me as the only goal, matpara, worship me, Krishna by the one method, ana, ananena yogena, characterized by hearing and other devotional activities.
Yeah, so this basically hearing and other devotional activity, nine limbs are being told actually. He engages in that, nine limbs, and he is not concerned about other prescribed duties like karma yoga, or what kind of yajna should I do, or oh, basically all the sandhya vandanam and worshipping demigods that may be prescribed for a karma yogi, some panchopasana, or worshipping the sun for a, or worshipping the Lord Shiva, worshipping Parvati for a good wife, good husband. All these things he is not involved into because they are not directly related to the nine limbs of bhakti. What he is concerned about is only this nine limbs of bhakti. Okay, because he knows that doing this, it's like watering the root. Everything else will be fulfilled. Okay, he doesn't get much involved. He does what is required for doing bhakti. There may be something required for the sake of society if one is into grihastha ashram or varnashram or any other some ashram also. Some social obligation may be there sometime. Okay, he doesn't take himself a step to arrange for a some function or activity which is not related to devotional service or which may waste his time away from devotional service. He doesn't take his own endeavor, okay, for doing all those kind of things. But if somebody invites him and it's just for some obligation, he may do the required thing, the needed thing. Okay, he doesn't hate such invitation and he doesn't become delighted upon such invitations also. But he does what is needed. And even sometimes, there may be some ceremonies which are required for doing in the house because that's coming from since ancestral time, some worship of some deity or something which may not be connected to bhakti, but he does them without having faith in them. Okay, because if one does the activity without having faith in them, then it's as good as not doing it, but it's done for the sake of other people. Okay, like in earlier times, the kings, they were not so much interested like Yudhishthira Maharaj and Amrish Maharaj, and we have fifth canto description about King Nabhi or Anga Maharaj. So they were not interested into doing these prescribed duties of the king. They were pure devotees, but they did it for the sake of those people who are not devotees in their country, so that they have faith in the king. So like that, one is the leader of the family, or he has to set example for children or other society members. Then he may do something. But otherwise, the people may start thinking that, oh, these devotees are very different entity. They are not social people. So he may do something what he needed. Okay, in that sense, he does. But he doesn't do extraneously and doesn't do too much of it like that. Yes, please read.
While practicing this method, even while hearing and chanting, they absorb their minds in me. Dhayanta.
Yeah. So devotees feel a longingness from these nine limbs of bhakti, even when they may do the things which are uh, sometimes they have to do unfavorable things for obligation, and sometimes they may have to do a thing which is not directly bhakti, but it may be favorable. Okay, but doing all these things, they are feeling a longing from the direct nine limbs. Okay. So that is always there. Okay, when can I spend my time performing the direct limbs of bhakti? Okay, they may be engaging in these kind of activities due to some obligation. Yeah.
For these devotees whose minds are attracted to me, Maya Avesta Chetasam. I am the deliverer from samsara, bringing about death while is difficult to cross like an ocean. Not after a long time, but very quickly, not being able to bear, de- bear delay in meeting them, I putting them on the shoulders of Garuda, bring them to my dham.
Yeah. So that is the example given for swift deliverer. How does the Lord deliver? Baldevi Devbhushan has explained. So he himself takes care. So like Tukaram Maharaj, we may hear sometime that he was carried on a plane like that. Okay. Or Dhruv Maharaj, he climbed on the head of Lord of Death, and then climbed on the Vaikuntha planet, Vaikuntha Viman, and then he went. So Lord himself takes care. And some pastimes we may not hear also that, oh, there was no Viman came. So whether Lord did become the swift deliverer for them? No, for everyone he becomes the swift deliverer. Okay. For every devotee. Yeah.
He, he who takes shelter of Narayana attains the goal of his practice without performing the duties of Artha, Dharma, Kama, and Moksha. Nara, Narayaniya.
This is a scripture name which is quoted here. Okay. So here this shloka is quoted. Even though one disregards prescribed activities, bhakti brings one to the desired goal. Somebody may tell, oh, you have not actually done your prescribed duty. Your prescribed duty was to take care that your generation should not stop. Many times for us, like for brahmacharis, it is told that you should have continued the generation of your family. You should also get married and produce children so that the family lineage continues. This is a very, very great disregard that you have done to the society, to the country, to the family, and you have wasted one seat in IIT or NIT. What are so many things they tell? But these are the things basically which are like the thought process of those who may not be devotional minded. So it is a good if they follow in their life because they are not on that level of doing bhakti. So we should do whatever possible as per our favorableness of bhakti. And one may disregard some of the prescribed activities which may not be favorable, and some things they may do out of obligation, which are unavoidable, like that. So for that, he has quoted a reference from the Shastra that it's not an independent thought, but it's there in the Shastra. So Shastra is saying that he who takes shelter of Narayana attains the goal of his practice without performing the duties of Artha, Karma, Kama, and Moksha. Okay. So he may not earn some money, he may not be engaging into all the principles of Dharma, but he will follow those principles of Dharma which are favorable for bhakti. And he may not engage into the activities of Kama, okay, having some desires for which are unfavorable for bhakti, and moksha. He may not want to have liberation also, but he may just want to serve the Lord. So these are all attained already. by doing service for the Lord, by worshipping or taking shelter of Lord Narayana, like that. Okay, that fulfills everything else. Yeah, please read another
Those who
reference.
utter the name of Vishnu, giving up all dharmas, easily attain the goal, whereas those who follow all rules of the dharma do not attain it. Padma Purana.
Yeah. See, those who utter the name of Vishnu, means who are these people who are uttering the name of Vishnu? They are not those people who are just uttering the name of Vishnu once in a year or once in a lifetime. They are the people who are devotees, bhaktas, who follow this as a limb of their life. Okay. 9 limbs, one of them is Kirtanam. So they utter the name of Vishnu. So giving up all dharmas. All dharmas means which is unfavorable for bhakti. Okay, this will be discussed more in detail in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, how the activities of Karma Yoga or Varnashrama are, if they are not favorable, then they can be given up. Okay, unfavorable for Bhakti, that he may give up. Okay, there are some principles of Varnashrama which may be favorable, that one can accept. Okay, so and then what happens by giving up, he can easily attain the goal. Why? Because he is having full shelter in the name of Lord Vishnu or Lord Vishnu. Whereas those who follow all rules of Dharma do not attain it. So if somebody thinks if I follow all the prescribed duties, but if I don't chant the name of Vishnu or if I don't take shelter of Vishnu, then also result will come. No, that is not right. Because in following any rule, there should be also element of bhakti. Okay. So if that bhakti part is not there, then none of the karma, jnana, and ashtanga yoga will give the results that we have discussed. Okay.
Srila Prabhupada.
Mm.
It is explicitly stated here that the devotees are very fortunate to be delivered very soon from material existence by the Lord. In pure devotional service, one comes to the realization that God is a great and that the individual soul is a subordinate to him. His duty is to render service to the Lord, and if he does not, then he will render service to Maya. As stated before, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by devotional service. Therefore, one should be fully devoted, one should fix his mind fully on Krishna in order to achieve.
Yeah, one should fix his mind. So ananyena yogena, that was told, without distraction. Okay. Yeah.
One should work only for Krishna. It does not matter in what kind of work one engage, but the work should be done only for Krishna. That is the standard of devotional service.
Yeah. So it does not matter what kind of work one engages, means again, it should not be taken out of context that one can do any activity and he may break regulatory principles also, or he may not chant his prescribed rounds. Not in that sense. Okay, we should not take it in that extreme sense. One does not matter what kind of work one engages, means as it was described earlier in like 11.55, Prabhupada told, one can engage into cleaning the temple or decorating the deity or so many activities he told, which may be favorable for bhakti, but it may not be direct bhakti also. But what is important is that work is done for Krishna. Okay, work should be done for Krishna. So one can do accounting for Krishna, one can do cleaning for Krishna, one can do book distribution for Krishna, whatever. Maybe then, yeah. That is the standard devotional service. Okay, yeah.
The Supreme Lord herein promises that without delay he will deliver a pure devotee, thus engaged from the ocean of material existence. Those who are advanced in yoga practice can willfully transfer the soul to whatever planet they like by the yoga process, and the others take the opportunity in various ways. But as far as the devotee is concerned, it is clearly stated here that the Lord Himself takes him. The devotee does not need to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself to the spiritual sky.
Yeah, so again, Lord is speaking, sorry, Prabhupada is speaking about the Na Chirat. Okay, it doesn't take very long, but it's without delay. Like we understand from the example of Narad boy. Okay, so that verse comes in the 6th chapter of the first canto, that it was without delay. An example is given of what? That just like the lightning, strikes. So the lightning, how it strikes, and then without delay, there is so much of light, correct? And then it disappears immediately. So like that, Narad boy, he tells that my body was changed to Narad Muni. So it doesn't take so much time for the lightning to come and go, correct? So that example is given without delay. So, and even many other books, which the Vishwanath Chadakur also explains in the book Raghavartam Chandrika, that how a devotee is transferred to the next planet after he leaves the body. So he explains that when a devotee is paripakva, means matured, then he is transferred to the Bhauma Vrindavan. Okay. So it's not that he has to wait till the end of the life of Brahma to be transferred to the pastimes of Krishna when next time Krishna will appear in the same universe. No. He says anywhere in any of the universes where Krishna pastime is going on, immediately the devotee is transferred to the Bhauma Vrindavan. And then he, after being trained there, immediately is transferred to the Golok Vrindavan. Like that, he gives example. Okay. So that's what those who are advanced in the practice can willfully transfer the soul to whatever planet they like by the yoga process. And other takes the opportunity in various ways. But as far as the devotee is concerned, it is clear that the Lord himself takes him. So if you remember earlier, we were discussing in the 9th chapter about the Shat Chakra yoga system, where a yogi actually meditates on the Paramatma. He takes the prana vayu from Muladhara Chakra to the Brahmarandra, and then from there he exits at the time of Uttarayana, when the sun is in the northern half. All that things was explained. So he has to wait for the time to come. For the devotee, it's not like that. Whenever he may leave the body, he will be taken by the Lord directly to the abode of the Lord. Okay. Or wherever it may be suitable next birth. Immediately he is transferred. He doesn't have to wait any time. Why? Because Lord is himself anxious to take him back. Okay, like that. Yeah. So devotee does not wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself to the spiritual sky. Yeah. So the Lord also from his side is so much anxious that he bestows the qualifications for the devotee, seeing his sincerity. Like that. Okay. Yeah, please read.
In the Varaha Purana, this verse appears. Nayami
You can
Paramam.
read the English.
The purport of this verse is that a devotee does not need to practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to transfer his soul to the spiritual planet. The responsibility is taken by the Supreme Lord himself. He clearly states here that he himself became a deliverer. A child is completely cared by his parents, and thus his position is secure. Similarly, a devotee does not need to endeavor to transfer himself by yoga practice to the other planet.
Yeah, so these things we have been discussing. Prabhupada has given this example, nice example of the child, as we discussed the example of the small kitten carried by the cat, mother cat, like that. So Prabhupada giving another example of the child. So devotee, same thing, doesn't have to depend on the yoga practice or something. Okay, but he depends on the Lord. But that does not mean that he doesn't endeavor in his bhakti yoga. Okay, he doesn't endeavor into performing the 9 limbs. He becomes slack in performing 9 limbs. Okay, whether I chant or not, whether I remember the Lord or not, anyhow, Lord will take me back. I don't have to practice even bhakti yoga. Not like that. He doesn't practice other yoga systems. He practices nicely bhakti yoga. Because without practicing bhakti yoga nicely, one cannot have anarth nivritti. If the anarth nivritti, sometimes we devotees have this misconception that, yeah, actually Prabhupada has told that you just do every day chanting 16 rounds, 4 relative principles, water the tulsi, and automatically you'll go back to Godhead. Okay, so Prabhupada has given that statement, surely many times he has told, but that should not make us relax in our bhakti. That even if I don't do bhakti nicely and sincerely, anyhow, Prabhupada has told he will take us back. So that would be not the proper understanding of that statement. Okay, like that. So one has to make sure, like Prabhupada says, the other statement also we have to see. See, we cannot take one statement from Prabhupada and then apply it throughout our life. We have to say other statement also, where Prabhupada says in Mother Kunti section, one has to fly his own flight. Why does Prabhupada has to say, if he has to tell that you do anything, you will be taken back to Godhead, you just catch my dhoti and I will take you back to Godhead. Many times they quote this statement, or they say that I have opened the back door for you, don't worry, I'll take you back. So they tell all these statements if when they are not able to do something in bhakti, or they are expected too much of the highest standard. That is also wrong from the side of superior if they are having very high expectation from their subordinate or followers. But the devotee should understand the philosophy nicely. Overall philosophy one has to understand and then apply. One should not take one-sided statements that yeah, I do very minimal and then anyhow I will be taken back to Godhead. That is also wrong. And whereas the other understanding also that everything depends on me only, that also is not the right understanding. But Lord's mercy, our endeavor and Lord's mercy both are the factors. But Lord's mercy will come proportionate to our endeavor. That is also a factor. One should not think our endeavor is 0, but mercy is 100%. So Lord is not like that. He is proportionate. He gives mercy. So ye yathamam prapadyante. Okay. So Prabhupada said that we have to fly our own flight also. At the same time, you just do your endeavor, and I will take you back to Godhead. Both the statements are there. We have to take in overall understanding of the philosophy. Okay. Hope that is clear. Yeah, please read.
Rather, the Supreme Lord, by his great mercy, comes at once, riding on his bird carrier Garuda, and at once delivers the devotee from material existence. Although a man who has fallen in the ocean of may struggle with ocean may sorry, although a man who has fallen in the ocean may struggle very hard and may be very expert in swimming, he cannot save himself. But if someone comes and picks him up from the water, then he is easily rescued. Similarly, the Lord picks up the devotee from this material existence.
Yeah, that we discussed earlier. Yeah, please continue.
The conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is stated in the 18th chapter, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyam Moksheshami Matacha. One should give up all other process of self-realization and simply execute devotional service in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so this is in connection with the first line of the verse that we are discussing. Sarva karmani sanyasya. Okay. So that in that context, Prabhupada is quoting Sarva Dharman Parityajya. So, okay, what is that word? Sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Sarvani karmani. Okay. So in that context, Prabhupada is saying that one should give up Sarva Dharman Parityajya. That is all things that which are apart from bhakti, that should be given up like that. Yeah, continue.
That will enable one to reach the highest perfection of life. There is no need for one to consider the simple actions of his past life because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. Therefore, one should not futilely try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. Let everyone take shelter of Supreme Omnipotent Godhead Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life.
Yeah, so yeah, one should not see this second statement is important here. There is no need for one to consider the sinful actions of his past life because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. So, Brahma Samhita also it is said, Karmani nirdhati kintucha bhakti bhaja. Okay, so you can read the purport of that. Prabhupada explained nicely that how the karma of a devotee is completely nirdhati. Dahati means to destroy or burn up. Nirdhati, completely destroyed. Kintucha bhakti bhajam, those who are engaged in bhakti bhajan or those who are engaged into practicing bhakti yoga. Okay, so bhakti bhajam. So for them it is completely destroyed, but not for others. So Lord himself takes care of all the sinful reactions. So one should not say, oh, actually I am so contaminated that I cannot chant the holy names also. I cannot do devotional service nicely. I'm again getting bad thoughts. Again I'm getting falling trap to lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, pride. No, as we endeavor, that things will go off. Okay, by anarth nivriti, it will go away. Okay, so one should not blame his past conditioning for not doing bhakti because Lord has already taken over. He has already taken care of his past sinful reactions. Just by chanting one holy name, more sins than what one can imagine are destroyed already. Okay, so like Ajamila, we know the very famous example. Just by chanting one holy name, it was all destroyed. and then Vishnu Dutas protected him. And then he did the proper bhakti yoga and then went to back to Godhead. Okay, like that. Yeah, somebody had raised hand. I think Prerna Mataji, you want to ask any question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was just about to ask, does putting faith in Guru's words extends our faith towards Krishna?
Extends.
I mean, it helps us to develop more and more faith in Krishna
Correct.
just by
Correct.
putting faith in Guru's words.
Correct.
Or else, another question is like, how can I calculate myself how much faith I have in Krishna?
Yeah. Yeah, how much faith we have in Krishna? Okay, first question, like putting faith in Guru is same as putting faith in Krishna. Like we have the shloka, Yasya deve para bhakti, yatha deve tatha guru, tasye te hi kathita artha prakashante mahatmana. So that shloka very nicely tells that one who has implicit faith in Krishna and also has implicit faith in Guru. So both are considered as the representative of each other. So Krishna as a Chati Guru directs one towards a sincere disciple to a bona fide Guru. So both are connected, surely. Krishna is represented by the spiritual master. So Krishna says in 11th canto also in Uddhav Gita that Sarva Devo Mayo Guru. Okay, so I am represented by Guru, basically. That is the right principle. And to the degree we have faith in our Guru, to that degree we also have faith in Krishna. Correct. Yeah. So that faith in Guru is based on what two factors are there in the Guru. Okay. So that is again explained in the one verse. Based on what qualification should one choose the Guru? So it says Brahmani Upashamashrayam. First is Brahmani Upashamashrayam. I can show the shloka. Just 1 minute. May be helpful in this regard. Okay, is it visible? Shloka?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
So see, this is 11th canto, 3rd chapter, 21st verse, liberation from illusory energy, chapter title. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shreya uttamam shabde parecha nishnatam brahmani upshamashrayam. So this shloka, many times Prabhupada quotes, Acharya's quote, based on what qualifications of Guru should one understand that he is bona fide, and one should choose Guru if these qualifications are met. Yeah, Mataji, can you read this translation?
Prabhuji, there are lots of
Okay,
disturbances.
no problem. I will read. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness, desires real happiness means he wants to practice bhakti yoga, must seek a bona fide spiritual master. Okay, bona fide spiritual master, and take shelter of him by initiation, by diksha process. Okay. What is the qualification? The qualification of a bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures. So first that he should have read the scriptures as we were discussing yesterday. And then second step is realizing that. Only after one knows what is there in the scripture can one realize it. So he has read the scriptures and then he has also realized that. How did he realize? So Prabhupada says, not Prabhupada, his disciples are translating. Yeah. By deliberation, he has realized the scriptures and now he is able to convince others. But how he is able to convince others? Either by preaching or by his actions. Okay, Acharya means one who acts in the proper way. It's like that. He is able to do right acharan or the right practices he is able to show. And then he is able to convince others. He is not only giving lectures like that. Okay, convince others of these conclusions, what he learned from the scriptures, basically. That is first qualification. Where is it mentioned in the shloka? So that is mentioned as Tasmad Guru Prapadyeta, one should approach a guru Who? Jigyasu, one who is inquisitive. For what he is inquisitive? He is inquisitive of Shreya. Shreya means highest, beneficial. Uttamam, highest beneficiary thing. Highest good. Yeah, proper words. And Shabde Parecha Nishnatam. This is the first qualification. He should be Nishnat or very nicely studied and realized what? Shabde. That which belongs to Shabda Praman. What belongs to Shabda Praman? That which is scriptures, Vedic scriptures. Okay. And for us, it is Gaudiya Vaishnava scriptures. That is first qualification. Second, such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations. What are the material considerations? Like Prabhupada told in his purport, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. They have given up all those things and only accepted Bhakti Yoga. He should be understood to be bona fide spiritual master. Okay, where is it mentioned in the shloka? The shloka says Brahmani Upashamashrayam. So what has been translated here? Brahmani. Okay, that is absolute truth. He is fixed in detachment from the material affairs because he is fixed in absolute truth. So he should be fixed in absolute truth. What is a feature of absolute truth for Gaudiya Vaishnavas? It is of Rajendra Nandan Krishna. He should be fixed in worship of Rajendra Nandan Krishna, or Krishna's form basically. And then he should be, and that should be based on what? Based on the Shabde, that which is explained in the scriptures like Chaitan Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, like that. So these two qualifications are there. Then to the degree these qualifications are there, to that degree the Guru is advanced. And to the degree we have faith in such Guru, we are having faith in Krishna. Okay, so it's very subjective. Okay, it's not that all disciples are same and all gurus are same. It's very subjective. Okay, does that answer somewhat, Mataji, or you have any follow-up question?
No, yes, Prabhuji, it answered.
Okay. Yes, Aruna Mataji, you have a question?
Prabhuji, I wanted to know the verse number from Brahma Samhita to understand the meaning of karma and Nirbhati word.
You want verse number? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will tell. I am searching. Okay, Arun Prabhu, you can ask till that time.
I wanted to ask Prabhuji, like you said that devotees, they are not interested in doing any material thing. Sometimes they do to set the right standard so that other people should not think that they are fanatic or Gazimida kind of thing. So, and they want to remain engaged in service of the Lord only. So does this work, the work which you told or we were discussing, belongs to outside material work, like people go to IT and do job which may not be directly related to Krishna, or the works that were told in 11.55 purport by Prabhupada. And so this is one question: what kind of work does it refer to? Our discussion of this in this purport that devotees don't want to do. And second, like
we
we
will
see,
discuss one by one. Okay. So yeah, that work, as surely what Prabhupada told in 11.55 is what Prabhupada told in the context, as explained by Baldev Vidyabhushan also, that taking care of his garden, cleaning the temple. Similar examples Prabhupada also gave. And basically the principle always Prabhupada says is that which is favorable for Krishna consciousness, it may be different for different people actually. Okay. So it should not be against Krishna conscious principles. Like one should not opt a job which is like a, job for McDonald's, which is like going to harm the living entities and killing them, making a software for killing the chicken or goat. All those are also IT job only, but it's against the principles of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so one should not do those kind of job and tell that yeah, it is required for my maintenance of family, of my devotee family. No, that is not accepted. So if it is not against Krishna conscious principle, it should be at least neutral to Krishna conscious principle. Okay. And if it is favorable to Krishna conscious principles, like it may be something like teaching in a Gurukula or teaching Sanskrit or something which is teaching principle of Krishna, teaching Bhagavad Gita in some school, it may be favorable for Krishna consciousness. That is best. Okay. But if it is like teaching for IIT JEE, it may not be related to Krishna consciousness at all, but it's not harmful to the living entities. Obviously, there is some explanation of Prabhupada also that the schools and colleges in modern days are also spiritual slaughterhouse. Yeah, but just taking it literally, that not breaking the regulative principles in that sense at least. Okay, so again, after 50 years, the question will be again whether some new technology will come, artificial intelligence, whether it is recommended by Prabhupada. So again, the principle is same, whether it is favorable for Krishna consciousness or not. Is it taking us away from Krishna or not? Everybody has to take a call. Everybody has to fly their own flight. Okay. So it may be subjective and answer different people, different answers may be there. Okay. Second
Yes,
question you
Guruji.
want to ask?
Second question was like related to this only, that normally we see a grahastha has to engage more than a full-time devotee in such kind of activities. So when we say the verses like Ma Manusmar Yuddhacha, that remember me and do activity, such kind of verses, is it to solace the person or the devotee that you remember me and do the activity, or Krishna says that sometimes senior devotees recommend that chant holy names and do your activity, do your job, or in between chant holy names. Of course, no one has to do his work with attention, but then whenever gets time to chant extra holy names and all. So, is it to solace, or or especially remembering Krishna and doing some material work, which is like outside job for earning money? So, is it to solace, or is it directly related to devotional service?
What do you think?
Yesterday we discussed that if something is done for Krishna, or it
It is
indirectly
for
or directly
solacing
connects.
or no? I'm asking, what do you think? Is it proper telling for solacing you, or he is really telling?
No, as far as I understand, it is directly devotional service.
Uh,
Directly devotional service in the sense, of course, it's not deity worship or that kind of activity.
uh,
But if it is helping us directly in devotional service, then it is a part of devotional service only. This is what I understand. Therefore, I'm asking. I'm a little bit confused.
No, you only answered the question. That is only the answer. Yeah, see,
Okay.
it's not the external matter so much, also as much as the consciousness matter. Always we have to keep that understanding. See, somebody may be doing deity worship, but the consciousness is not good, then it is not as fruitful. I'm saying in the sense of giving an advancement in Krishna consciousness. As much a person may be doing some neutral activity to Krishna consciousness, it may be like Mama Nusmara Yuddhacha, but if his consciousness is high, that can give him more progress in Krishna consciousness than doing directly deity worship, if he is feeling a burden of it. Okay. Or chanting 64 rounds out of force. Somebody forced you to chant 64 rounds, and he's chanting with all the negativity in the mind. Oh, I'm forced to chant. So that is taking him away from Krishna. One can chant as much as he is voluntarily ready to chant. It may be 8 rounds, it may be 4 rounds, it may be 16 rounds. But he can chant voluntarily. That will give more advancement in Krishna consciousness compared to doing it forcefully. So it's very much subjective again. It's based on consciousness rather than external situation and activity. Okay. Arjuna fighting the war and killing people, he is making much more advancement than we may be doing while chanting. Okay, so it's not good to compare like that. That Grihastha is engaging into such things, he's not doing direct devotional service. Okay, and if Grihastha is very advanced, he can be like Srivas Thakur, where he will have faith that if I just clap 3 times, and the food will come to my house. If it doesn't come, I'll drown into Ganges. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was shocked. But that is like Lord's associate directly. So we cannot imitate also, and neither a renunciate can imitate Raghunath Das Goswami in his renunciation, taking 3 times only buttermilk. Sorry, once in 3 days, right? Yeah, not 3 times a day. Yeah, so we cannot imitate any of these people actually. So it's not fair that we compare anybody Grihastha or a full-time devotee. Full-time devotee is not actually a full-time devotee also, because he is also paid in not money but remuneration, as we have discussed earlier. He may be given facilities for staying and food and clothing and some other things also given. So it's not that he is not given anything and then he just selflessly there as a brahmachari, but he is given something in uh, not in cash basically. Yeah. So full-time devotee, I don't so much agree with. the word itself. He may be there full time in the temple, but whether full time is engaged in Krishna consciousness, that is individual. Okay. And Grihastha may be engaging sometime more also. So it's all on consciousness. We cannot just take the external and decide anything. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
Otherwise, based on external, if Gadadhar Pandit was going to decide about Pundrik Vidyanidhi, then he understood that he is looking like a materialistic person, but after seeing the symptoms of him, it was very different. So one cannot actually see external and many times decide. Yeah, there are so many examples actually. Yeah. One cannot decide on externals. Yeah, otherwise these all renunciates like Narad Muni and all in their next birth, they married. Srivas Thakur was a married person. So you cannot say that he downgraded. Will it be right to say like that? I don't think. Okay. Yeah, so you were asking the reference for that Brahma Samhita verse. This is the verse. This is 5.54, Mataji. You can see that. Okay, this line is what I quoted. Karmani nidhati kintusha bhakti bhajam. Okay. So the translation says a part of it I can read. Okay. I adore Supreme Lord, okay, Primary Lord Govinda, who burns up to their roots. Okay, Karmani Nirdhati. What he does? He burn? All fruitive activities. Karmani. Nirdhati, who burns up to their roots. Of those who are imbued with devotion and impartially ordains for each the due enjoyment of the fruits of one's activities. Okay. So you can read the purport of it. Okay. So purport, the first line itself here he says, God impartially induces the fallen souls to act in the way that is consequent on the deeds of the previous birth and enjoy the fruition of their labors. Okay, this is as per the law of karma. But means change of subject. What is the subject matter now? For his devotees, out of his great mercy for his devotees, these are for karmis. Now for his devotees, what does he do? He purges out, and by the fire of ordeal, the root of karma, what example, nescience and evil desires. Okay, so these all he burns out for his devotee, like that is given here. Okay, so you can read ahead and see what it explains. Okay. Okay, you have to complete this chapter. So we'll go ahead and do this second last section actually. Yeah. So 8 to 12 is progressive stages of devotion. So here, this is actually a very important section also where Krishna is giving he is accommodating different level of people. So 8 to 11 will be for different level of devotees. Whom he is telling that what level you can practice. And 12th is for Nishkam Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yogi. Okay. Who is not able to do Bhakti. Okay. So we'll see what he explains. Mai eva mana adhat swa. Mai buddhim niveshaya. Nivashyasi ma mayeva ata urdhvam na samshaya. Okay. Can read. Isha Mataji, would you like to read?
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt.
So yeah, basically he is continuing the same thought process that engage your mind in me. Okay. My eva, me only. Man adhat. So fix your mind only in me. My buddhim niveshaya. Okay, this first activity. Second is my buddhim. What you should do with your mana. That is first thing, mind. Second is what you should do with your intelligence. Okay. So my buddhim, intelligence, niveshaya, engage your apply your intelligence into me or my activities. And nivashyasi mayeva, by doing nivesha into me, okay, what will happen? Ata urdhvam, you will surely go upwards without any doubt, no samshaya. Okay, without doubt, you will go upwards, will grow in your bhakti. like that. So this is a simple verse. Yeah. So basically, actually, this verse is looking very simple to do, but actually the explanation is just one minute. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So as I was saying, this may look a very simple verse, but actually it's represented as the Bhava Bhakti platform, where one is spontaneously able to do these two activities. Mai eva mana adatso, mai buddhi nivesha. This is explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, whose commentary we are not going to take, but I'm just saying. Okay. So he explains actually the first one is this Mananatmika Bhakti. Okay. So he explains the different stages. Okay, I will just give the names when it comes. Okay, but just understand that this is a higher stage of Bhava Bhakti. Okay, it's not Sadhana Bhakti. It's not a level of practice. It's already person has reached perfection where he is able to do these things. Okay. Yeah, please read.
Since this is so, concentrate your mind upon me alone, not your Atma. Mai eva adatsva. Offer your intellect to me. Doing this, you will live very close to me, Krishna, Mai. You are not like the Sanishta devotee who, after realizing the enjoyments of Swarga, attaining me in the majestic form, but not close to me.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the important point is these two things. What Krishna is saying: that concentrate your mind upon me alone, not on your Atma. Means, as we were discussing, this is like impersonalist person, Brahmavadi, okay, who has the first step of concentrating on Atma. This is the first step of impersonal realization. So that Krishna is saying, don't do that. You just concentrate upon me directly, Bhagwan feature, and offer your intellect to me again, to the Bhagwan feature like that. Okay. Yeah, please continue. Prabhupada's comment.
Yes. One who is engaged in Krishna's devotional service lives in direct relationship with Supreme Lord. So there is no doubt that his position is transcendental from the very beginning. The devotee does not live on the material plane. He lives in Krishna. The holy name of the Lord and Lord are not different. Therefore, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his eternal potency are dancing on the tongue of the devotee. When he offers Krishna food, Krishna directly accepts these eatables, and devotee becomes Krishnaized by eating this remnants. One who does not engage in such service cannot understand how this is so, although this is a process recommended in Bhagavad Gita and in other Vedic literatures.
Yeah. So this Prabhupada explained that this kind of devotee, he lives in a direct relationship with Supreme Lord, and sadhaka may not be having this stage. He may not know what is the relationship with Krishna as of now. But this person who is at the stage of bhav, he has a specific flavor in which he serves Krishna. That is called sthai bhav. Okay, that we'll see in Nectar of Devotion. And the one point also is that the holy name, when one chants, Lord Krishna himself manifests and he dances on the tongue of the devotee. So this is not realized for a sadhaka because he may have anarthas, but for a person who is at the stage of bhava, for him it is realized. Okay. So for everyone, Krishna dances surely on the tongue. Some people realize, some people don't. Okay. That is the because of anarthas. It's covered. Okay. अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो माम इच्छाप्तुं धनंजय. Okay, is Deepali Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes. If you cannot free without deviation, then follow Bhagavan.
You can switch off your video, Mataji. Your voice is breaking.
Shall I read again?
Yeah.
My dear, if you cannot fix your mind on me, then follow some Bhakti Yoga. This way, develop in me.
Okay, thank you. So now he is saying, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, means, see, my is thiram, he has told. Means earlier verse, what was explained was that person was able to fix his mind and intelligence on Krishna without deviation. So for a sadhaka, it may not be possible to engage without deviation. Okay, but for this previous verse, Bhava Bhakta, he may be able to do. So basically, that's what the point is, that atha chittam samadhatum na saknoshi. If you are not able to do in that way, sthira bhakti or sthira way you are engaging mind, your intelligence in me, then what you should do? Abhyas yogena. Do your abhyas, practice. So this is the part of Vaidhi Bhakti, where one Vaidhi sadhana bhakti basically, where one does a practice. Sadhana means sadhan, not sadhana, sadhan bhakti. So where one does the practice of engaging mind always in Krishna. So Krishna says, whenever and wherever Krishna, sorry, mind goes away, bring it back. Yato yato nischalati manah chanchala asthira tatastato niyametad atmanni eva vasham nayet. You should bring a back unto your own control. For a sadhaka, he says that. Okay. For a siddha who is at the stage of bhava, for him it is not required because it's already in on Krishna always. Like that. Okay. So somebody else can read actually. Your voice is breaking. Mukund Patro, please, you can read.
In this verse, two different processes of Bhakti Yoga are indicated. The first applies to one who has actually developed an attachment for Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, by transcendental love. And the other is for one who has not developed an attachment for Supreme Personality of Supreme Person by transcendental love. For this second class, there are different prescribed rules and regulations one can follow to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna.
Okay. See, two classes are there. So this is, let's say, the class A, for whom there is Mai Sthiram, and there is second class who is B, who is Abhyas Yogena, they are prescribed to do. Okay. So basically now, if you see, two different processes are indicated. The first is the A one, that is Bhav Bhakta. At the stage of Bhav they are. So they are already, they have actually developed an attachment for Krishna. Okay. Whereas the other one is has not developed attachment. So this is the Vaidhi Sadhaka. Okay. So who has to do it in practice like that. So for them, what is there? For the second class, there is the prescribed duties. Chanting 16 rounds, okay, and following the 4 regulatory principles and other, basically a program for devotional service, attending morning program, hearing Bhagavatam every day. So these are prescribed rules for him, like that. And what about the rules for Bhava Bhaktas? They don't need the rules because they automatically do it. Okay, they do it spontaneously. They don't need to be in a schedule like that. Yeah, continue.
Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. At the present moment in material existence, the senses are always impure, being engaged in sense gratification. But by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, these senses can become purified, and in the purified state, they come directly in contact with the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so this again for the class B person, how to go from B to A. Okay, so when he is purified, what is purified? Basically, that is Anatnivritti process happens. Okay, and then after Anatnivritti, he is into a purified state. Okay, that is the state A. Okay, so previously it was impure. Then there is stage of getting purified, that is sadhana bhakti. Before coming into bhakti, it was impure. Then after he comes into bhakti, it is getting pure. It's getting purified. It's sadhana bhakti. It's in the process of getting purification. Like we say the example, he's standing under the work is in progress, like that. Okay, or the standing under the shower, like that. So he will gradually come to the stage A. Yeah, continue.
This love of God is now in dormant state in everyone's heart, and their love of God is manifested. Love of God is manifested in different ways, but it is contaminated by material association. Now the heart has to be purified of the material association, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. To practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, one should, under the guidance of expert spiritual master, follow certain principles. One should rise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna. Then collect flowers to offer the deity, cook foodstuffs to offer the deity, take prasadam and so on.
So yeah, this is a regulated program for Vaidhi sadhakas. Prabhupada is saying here. Okay, so that the purification will happen. Okay, for the Vaidhi sadhaka bhaktas. Okay.
There are various rules and regulations which one should follow, and one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. This practice can help anyone rise to the level of love of God, and then he is sure of his process into the spiritual kingdom of God. This practice of Bhakti Yoga under the rules and regulations with the direction of spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God.
Yeah, so we'll bring it to the stage of love of God, means that will be like Bhava Bhakti. Okay, from B he can reach to the stage of A. Okay, and as much as possible, one should hear from the advanced devotee, from one's own spiritual master, from one who is he may be aspiring from, or Srila Prabhupada. You can hear Prabhupada lectures like that, or read Prabhupada books. That is also hearing from Prabhupada, or read previous acharyas books. Okay, like that. So as much as possible, one should try to take the association of pure devotees. Okay, like that. But saying that, one should not think that no, in temple where everyday pure devotee give project Bhagavatam classes. Not everyday pure devotee gives. So let me, during the Bhagavatam class time, let me hear from pure devotee Prabhupada. No, because that program is said here by Prabhupada. See, earlier also it told every day here Bhagavatam somewhere. Okay, basically, yeah, he tells Nityam Bhagavat Seva, he says that. So basically, yeah, it should not be taken literally that one has to hear from pure devotee only. But if the pure devotee has given a program for the other speakers to speak, or temple organization has made that, one should hear. But when one has to make a choice during his own hearing, he should not just go to YouTube and hear whatever he likes. Okay, there may be some people who are only cracking jokes, and then one is hearing, or there are some people who are only showing videos throughout the lecture, or something like that. Okay, it should be more and more based on the Shastra, and by we should hear from those who are more and more advanced. Okay, like that, who are more fixed up in bhakti. So, like that. And also it's very important to hear from those whom we know, those whom we can see from our physical eyes. Otherwise, we may hear from somebody who is on YouTube, and we don't know what kind of morning program they follow, what type of standards they follow in their life. We don't know. We are only hearing lectures from them, so we don't know what practices they may be having. Okay, so it's better to hear from those whom we can see. So like that, yeah. अभ्यासे अपि असमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्मा परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि. Okay. Yes, Arunavati, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhupada. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
Yeah, so this is now the third stage where we can say abhyase api asamartho asi. If you are asamartha, if you are not able to do what? Abhyas, what was explained in the previous verse, then do at least mat karma paramo bhava madartham api karmani. You should work for me. Okay, what you are doing, you devote some time to do activities for me. Okay, next verse will say you do whatever you like, you do, but offer the results to me. Next verse will say. Here Krishna is not saying that you whatever you like, you do. Here Krishna is saying you do things which are required for me, which I tell you to do. Okay, you may not do all your activities for me, or you may do some of the activities for me, but it should not be in the next category. that you do all the things you like to do, but offer the results of that, or you get some money out of it, you offer it to me. That is next shloka. Here he is saying, if you cannot practice the regulations of bhakti, if you're not able to chant suppose 16 rounds or follow 480 principles, all of them, if you are not able to every day do morning program, some whatever standardized things Prabhupada told here, everyday Bhagavatam, no problem. But you can do some things which are connected to bhakti, like uh, suppose cleaning the temple, he told earlier, right? 11.55, he told, do cleaning of the temple, grow flowers in the garden. Those things you can do at least. Okay, like that. So this is uh, something which is below the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Okay, like that. But above Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, that will come in the next shloka. So it is something intermediate. It's not completely Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, not also Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay. Yeah, please read.
One who is not able even to practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga under the guidance of a spiritual master can still be drawn to this perfectional stage by working for the Supreme Lord. How to do this work has already been explained in the 55th verse of the 11th chapter. One should be sympathetic to the propagation of Krishna consciousness. There are many devotees who are engaged in the propagation of Krishna consciousness and they require help. So even if one cannot directly practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, he can try to help such work.
Yeah, so there may not be people who are able to do 16 rounds or hear everyday Bhagavatam. But if you tell them, actually, we want to build Ram Mandir, they'll tell, oh, yes, yes, so many years we are been waiting. We want to build it. Within 1 year, we'll finish it off. And they will do also work. But after that, if you tell, oh, now Ram Mandir is completed, now what we should do is every day come to Ram Mandir and chant 16 rounds Hare Krishna, or chant Ram Nam, or something. You tell them everyday program we will do. They'll tell, no, 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 this we cannot do. We are going to build next Ram Mandir now. Okay, they will tell like that. So, means they want to do some activity for Krishna, but they cannot do it in a regulated way. If you tell them, no, every day come for, there will be Rama Arti in the morning 4:30, they will not be able to come. Okay, they cannot do it in that way. Okay, goodness wala jada, it will not work. Something passion you give, some work, or you tell us to do some dharna, some morcha for this kind of thing. This we will do. Okay, like that. And Prabhupada will say also here some more things. Yeah.
Every endeavor requires land, capital, organization, and labor. Just as in business, one requires a place to stay, some capital to use, some labor, and some organization to expand. So the same is required in the service of Krishna. The only difference is that in materialism, one works for sense gratification. The same work, however, can be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna, and that is spiritual activity. If one has sufficient money, he can help in building an office or temple for propagating Krishna consciousness, or he can help with publications. There are various fields of activity, and one should be interested in such activities.
Yeah, so you see, in this whole purport, Prabhupada did not tell about chanting holy name. He did not tell about reading and hearing Bhagavatam. He did not tell about doing deity worship. Nothing. He did not tell all this. What he told, every organization requires, every endeavor requires land, capital, organization. You give some land, you give some money, you do some organization in the ISKCON, or you become give some labor help, or do you share your hands like that, whatever. Say these all things Prabhupada is saying. The same work, however, can be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna. That's what he's saying. Okay. So then it becomes spiritual activity. So whatever is required for propagating Krishna consciousness, it may be like Prabhupada took the help for publications of his BTG magazine. Okay, like that. So people can help in that way. Yeah.
If one cannot sacrifice the results of his activities, the same person can still sacrifice some percentage to propagate Krishna consciousness. This voluntary service to the cause of Krishna consciousness will help one to rise to a higher state of love for Godhead, whereupon one becomes perfect.
Yeah, so Prabhupada is telling how to come to the stage of the Bhava Bhakti from this stage, which is C, like which is something intermediate between Vedisana Bhakti and Nishkam Karma Yoga. So he's saying, yeah, one can, by doing this, one can come to the highest stage like that. You know, he may not be doing the Bhava Bhakti in this life, but by doing activities and giving some percentage of his income to propagate Krishna consciousness, he will come gradually to that because he has a good heart for Krishna and it will grow. That faith will grow as he gets more and more Agya Sukriti. As his faith will grow, he will practice Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. More faith will come, he will practice Bhava Bhakti. Like that. अथेतद् अपि असक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगम् आश्रितः सर्वकर्म फलत्यागं तथा कुरु यतात्मवान्. Prasanna Gopal, please read.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Yeah, your work. Here, Prabhupada did not tell my work. Krishna's work. It's not Krishna's work he is doing. Your work you are doing. You give up the results of your work. And okay, that also he is saying try to act. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness, okay, whatever was explained from 8 to 10, 8, 9, and 10. If you are unable to do any of these, obviously 8 he is not able to do, he should do 9. 9 he is not able to do, he should do 10th. And if all these are not possible, then do 11th. So this is Nishkama Karma Yoga, where one does one's prescribed activity as per the Varnashma system, but he offers the activities with full detachment to Krishna. It's higher than Sakama Karma Yoga. Sakama Karma Yoga means he has the activities done for the purpose of attaining the heavens and enjoying in heaven. Okay, but this is not like that. He is doing Nishkam. Nishkam means without having any mentality to enjoy. So by that, what happens? He gains the purification of heart. Okay, so because he detached from the results, and by that purification of heart, he will be qualified for Jnana Yoga. That's what is explained in the first 6 chapters. Yeah,
Verse 10 is Sakam Karma Yoga. Then can we title?
Yes, Sakam means he has a desire to go to heaven. No?
No, 10th verse. It is Sakam then?
No. 10th was Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Sorry, 10th was between Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Nishkam Karma Yoga. This C.
So can it be Sakam or not?
No, it is not Sakam. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is B, and then there is Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is, let's say, D. Okay, this what I explained is in between. Okay, this is 12.10. So here the person did not, sir, like he did the constructing the temple. So he is constructing temple not for his own, it's not constructing his own house. He is constructing the temple for Krishna or Ram. Okay, but
so can be dovetailing?
No. Yeah, it's obviously dovetailing his propensity. But 11th verse, what it is telling, you are constructing your home only. You are doing your work. Your work only you are doing. You are not doing my work for Krishna. You are doing your work, but a part of it you give up the results of your work. Okay, and then you offer it to me. Okay, or work in the consciousness of me is not possible. Then you do work whatever you like to do, but give up the results of it. You may not give all the results to me also. Okay, like that. This is not much connected with the Krishna consciousness principles. Okay, it's not directly connected to Bhakti Yoga. Okay, he may not give the activities, give up the activities for Krishna also. That is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, it will be more clear. We'll read the purport.
Prabhuji, can you once show the previous slide where you written as CD ranking?
Oh yeah, there, na? Here we discussed that Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is B. Okay, B, and then Nishkam Karma Yoga, which we are discussing in 11th verse, is D. And 12.10 discusses something which is intermediate to these two.
But C is like, C is 12.10, right?
Correct. Yeah, this is
So
12.9.
I'm confused how it is greater than Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti.
No, not greater, sorry. Okay, it's like this. It's like this. Okay. Okay, so yeah, please read this.
Yeah, Baldev Vidyabhushan's comment. If you and others are not able to do these activities, such as cleaning my temple, which are very easy and pleasing to me, If you are prevented by the obstacles such as being the leader of great family, take shelter of my protective nature, mad yogam ashrita, and perform all activities which are to be performed with renunciation of the results, with controlled mind, yat- yatatmavan.
Yeah, so see here very clearly, Baldev has told that you are not able to do these activities like cleaning my temple and all, or doing some donation for my temple like that. Then what you should do? Okay, what are those activities? They are very, very pleasing to me. You are not able to do activity which are pleasing to me. You are doing activity which are pleasing to you. Okay, how you are prevented? So he is giving many practical examples. Like it may be due to a great family. One may be coming into a family which is some other hereditary line or some line of some uh, people who don't allow worship of Krishna like that. So or it may be because of taking birth in some Muslim family. Then one cannot worship Krishna. Then he is telling, okay, what you should do like that. Yeah, please read. Purpose, purport.
Srila Prabhupada. It may be that one is unable even to sympathize with the activities of Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objections from family members or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated results of his activities to some good cause. Such procedures are described in Vedic rules.
Yeah, so Prabhupada also explaining same thing. He is having social issues or familial issues or religious consideration, like he may be belonging to a Christian family. So it may be having difficulty in directly giving some like sympathizing with the Krishna conscious activity. Then one should give a part of his whatever he can do, sacrifice accumulated results of his activity to some good cause. It may not be directly for Krishna, like that Prabhupada is saying. Yeah.
It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospitals and some other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned results to his activities. This is also recommended here because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually, and in that purified state of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so first point is that if he is not able to do activities for Krishna consciousness, he can give charity to some good organization, good things, good cause of the society, some pious activity Prabhupada is saying, which is like Niskama Karma Yoga. He's not using for his own sense gratification. So doing this, he is saying that in that purified stage of mind, there is a possibility one of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. So it's not that everybody who does charity will come to Krishna consciousness. One has to understand that one comes to Krishna consciousness only by association of devotees. So what Prabhupada is saying that this person, because he is already detached from fruits, okay, he is already having a detached mentality. Okay, having the detached mentality, when he gets the association of devotee, he is more likely to take up Krishna consciousness because he is already thinking that I am not the enjoyer. Okay, but he doesn't know who is the enjoyer. He doesn't know Krishna is the enjoyer. So he is having more chances to take up Krishna consciousness. It's not that by doing charity one comes to Krishna consciousness. That is not the conclusion. Yeah, please read.
Of course, Krishna consciousness is not dependent on any other experience because Krishna consciousness itself can purify one's mind. But if there are impediments to accepting Krishna consciousness, one may try to give up the results of his activities. In Bhagavad Gita 18.46, we find it is stated, Yataha pravrittir bhutanam. If one decides to sacrifice for the supreme cause, if even if he does not know the supreme cause is Krishna, he will come gradually to understand that Krishna is the supreme cause by sacrificial method.
Yeah. So same thing. He will gradually come to Krishna consciousness by association with devotee. Last verse of the section. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्. Okay. Madhavan, would you like to say?
If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is a renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
Yeah. So now he is saying even if you are not able to do this kind of practice, then one should engage oneself in cultivation of knowledge. Okay. Better than knowledge. Okay, let's say knowledge is here one. Better than knowledge, however, is a meditation. So that word dhyanam. Okay, jnanam is one. Dhyanam, let's say it is two. Dhyanam, meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of fruits of action. That is three. Okay. Basically, that is Nishkam Karma Yoga, renunciation of fruits. By such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. So here, if you see the hierarchy, it's like Jnana Yoga. Basically, the Jnanam is Jnana Yoga is one. Then there is Dhyana, which is two. And there is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, which is three. So what is the hierarchy here? So he is saying that better than knowledge, however, is meditation. Okay, dhyana is better than jnana yoga. And then better than meditation is actually Nishkam Karma Yoga. Like this hierarchy is built here by Krishna, he is saying. But actually, when we study the yoga ladder, is this the hierarchy or something else? Anybody remembers? Hierarchy of the yoga ladder, which comes Nishkam Karma Yoga comes first or Jnana Yoga?
Nishkam Karma Yoga comes first.
Yeah, if you see the previous verse itself, we discussed here actually. Nishkam Karma Yoga, that gives purification of heart. Then one takes up to Jnana Yoga. Okay. So according to the yoga ladder, what is the yoga ladder says? It is first is Sakam Karma Yoga, then Nishkam Karma Yoga, then one takes up to Jnana Yoga, or he can take to Ashtanga Yoga, and then after that he can merge into Brahman, and if they come into association of devotee, then he can take to Bhakti Yoga. Okay, like that. If Nishkam Karma Yoga also comes into association of devotee, he can take to Bhakti Yoga. This is the yoga ladder. Okay. Now, what Krishna is saying is the opposite. Correct. So, according to this, Nishkam Karma Yoga comes first, then comes Jnana Yoga. But Krishna is saying Jnana Yoga is not so good, Nishkam Karma Yoga is best. Why is he saying this? We'll see in the purport, then we'll understand. Okay. So, but just remember one thing, this dhyana is a part of Jnana Yoga. Okay. Just remember this as of now. Okay. Part of Jnana Yoga is this Dhyana Yoga. Okay. This is not the Ashtanga Yoga system. Okay. Obviously, Ashtanga Yoga will come even before that. Okay. That Krishna has not told here, but this Dhyana is part of Jnana Yoga, which is preliminary to the Jnana Yoga system. But Krishna apparently has told the opposite order. Why? We'll see in the purport. Yeah, please read. We'll read
This
only
verse,
Prabhupada's purport here. Okay. Both explain the same thing. So we'll just read Prabhupada's purport here. Just 1 minute. Yeah,
as mentioned in the
just
verse,
1 minute. Yes, please read.
as mentioned in the previous verses, there are two kinds of devotional service: the way of regulative principles and the way of full attachment in love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so regulative principles. What is that way of regulative principles? What we discussed till now?
Vedic Bhakti.
Yeah, so this is
Then
the B, which is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And then love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Bhav Bhakti. Okay, which we were discussing, that is A. these two have been explained. Yeah, please read.
For those who are actually not able to follow the principle of Krishna consciousness, it is better to cultivate knowledge, because by knowledge one can be able to understand his real position.
Now, what is this knowledge? Knowledge is Jnana Yoga, basically, he's saying. Jnana.
Gradually, knowledge will develop to the point of meditation.
What is this meditation? This is Dhyana, which Krishna told in the verse. Okay, so gradually knowledge will develop into meditation. Okay, next.
By meditation, one can able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by a gradual process.
Okay.
In the cultivation of knowledge, there are processes which make one understand that one himself is the Supreme, and that sort of meditation is preferred if one is unable to engage in devotional service.
Yeah, so here meditation word, if you see, it's Prabhupada's told as Dhyana is a part of Jnana Yoga. Correct. Cultivation of knowledge is Jnana Yoga. He's saying that a sort of meditation perfected is preferred in one of, if one is unable to engage in devotional service, that is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, he is unable to do Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, he is encouraged to do Jnana Yoga, and of which Dhyana is a part. Okay. Yeah.
If one is not able to meditate in such a way, then there are prescribed duties as enjoined in the Vedic literature for the Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, which we shall find in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
But in all cases, one should give up the result or fruits of labor. This means to employ the result of karma for some good cause.
Yeah. So if one is not able to meditate, means if one is not able to do dhyana, then there are prescribed duties as enjoined in the Vedic. So what is this prescribed duties? This is Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay. As enjoined in the Vedic literature for the Brahmana, Kshatriya, according to Varnashma system, Nishkama Karma Yoga is enjoined. Why Prabhupada? Okay, what Prabhupada has told is very, very important in this point. If one is not able to meditate, okay, this is very important. So this hierarchy is not on the hierarchy of what is better. Okay. This is on the hierarchy of what one is not able to do. So I'll go back to that hierarchy, what Krishna has told. Okay. So surely Jnana Yoga is higher than Nishkam Karma Yoga. But why this is given? Because one is not able to do. Okay. One is not able to do higher practice. So Krishna is saying what? If you're not able to do Ashtanga Yoga, do Jnana Yoga. Not able to do Jnana Yoga, do a part of Jnana Yoga that's called Dhyana. If you're not able to do that, also do Nishkam Karma Yoga. That is better for you. That is higher for you. Like that Krishna is saying. He is not giving a yoga ladder hierarchy. Okay. So this is to be very clear. Otherwise, you will not understand what is happening here. Okay. Read this. Yeah.
In summary, to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest goal, there are two processes. One is by gradual development and other process is direct. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and the other method involves renouncing the fruits of one's activities. Then one can come to the stage of knowledge, then to the stage of meditation, then to the stage of understanding the super soul, and then to the stage of Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so now again, Prabhupada in summary, he has clarified what whole thing is saying. So first he is saying to reach the Supreme Godhead, the highest goal, there are two processes. One is the gradual development, that is Nishkam Karma Yoga. And other process is direct, that is Krishna consciousness, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Devotional service is Krishna direct method, and other methods involve renouncing the fruits, Nishkam Karma Yoga, of one activity. They are not direct. Then one can come to the stage of knowledge. So from Nishkam Karma Yoga, then one can come to the stage of knowledge, that is Dhyana. Okay, so again, Prabhupada is saying the yoga ladder now. Okay, Nishkam Karma Yoga, one has crossed, then he will come to Dhyana. Then one comes to the stage of, sorry. Not then, this is
Jnana
knowledge,
Yoga.
it is Jnana Yoga. Yeah. Then to the stage of meditation. So this
Dhyana.
meditation, actually here Prabhupada is telling about this Ashtanga Yoga system. This is not the Dhyana in the verse what Krishna has spoken. This is Ashtanga Yoga system. Okay, stage of meditation. How? And then one can come to the stage of understanding the super soul, where one understands the super soul, that is Ashtanga Yoga system. And then to the stage of Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Krishna consciousness or Bhakti Yoga. That is the yoga ladder now, what Prabhupada is saying. Okay. So otherwise you will be fully confused in this purport, what is happening where. Okay, where Prabhupada is explaining what. Because that one important thing is this one has to understand. If one is not able to do, that is based on his own Shreyaskar or one what he is able to do. Based on that, Krishna has given the hierarchy. Okay, Jnana Yoga and other things are actually in the same yoga ladder order, but it's given opposite. Yeah, read this.
But as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it is the direct method that is stressed. Everyone is advised to take to the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna.
Yes. So, okay, based on this section, anybody has question? Okay. So now this next section, which is there, these are 7 verses which qualities of devotees are explained here. So it's already time. I thought we'll complete it today. So anyhow, we can do it on next Saturday. So I was thinking that we can do the shloka test and OBA submission on next Sunday. We'll complete this chapter on Saturday and do a summary of the whole 6 chapters. And if you have any questions on these 6 chapters, you can try to solve your closed book questions, open book questions. If you have any question, we can discuss on Saturday. And then we'll complete this chapter also. And Sunday, we can have the shloka test and OBA submission. That Sunday is 21st, I think. Okay. And then we can have 28th closed book exam on 28th April. And then after that, we can have the class on the next week, that is maybe 4th, I think 4th May is the Sunday. So we can have like that. Is it okay? If we do like that?
Prabhuji, what will we have on 27th then? 28th April is Sunday. A Saturday before that
27th
Sunday?
is 27th will be
Saturday.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, 27th will be off. We can give exam on 28th, close book exam. And exam will be same time as our class timing, 11:30.
So shlokas can you just mention?
Yeah, so yeah, we'll put it in the group. Okay. Arun, you can put it in the group. Okay, it's there in the handbook. Those who have handbook, you can have a look at the handbook.
Yes,
It's
Prabhuji, I'll
mentioned.
just
Yeah,
I'll
you can
post
just
it.
take a screenshot of that shlokas and send.
Arun, you can just send the handbook also. I think I'm missing the open book questions also. I sent on your book. You can just confirm whether those are the open book questions.
Okay, bro.
Okay, anybody has any other opinion?
So Arun, just a request. Can you just ping that updated handbook only on the group so that we can refer it for analogies as well as questions and things.
Okay,
Yes,
so we
Prabhuji.
conclude in the next week then, Saturday. Okay. And if you have any feedbacks or you want to share anything, then we can discuss it on next Saturday. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Also, we will not have questions today.
Yeah, you want to ask any question?
I have 2 questions.
Yeah, you can ask. Those who want to leave, they can leave. Yeah, yes, Mukul.
Just give me a few seconds, Prabhuji. I have questions from both chapters. First question is from chapter 7, Prabhuji. I think I understood, but still just wanted to confirm from you. There's a question in closed book out of the 4 people who take or who surrender to Krishna, Gyani is the best. We read this in 17.7. But why Gyani is best? So that was the question. What should be the right answer to this, Prabhuji?
Yeah, that I think it says Ek Bhaktir Vishishyate. If you see the shloka, What is shloka number? You said 7.17, right?
7.17, yes, Prabhuji. The word is there, Ek Bhakti Visheshyata, yes.
So there, if you read the translation, Prabhupada says that I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. Okay, before that, of these, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. Yeah. So he is in full knowledge and he is always engaged in devotional service. That's why he is the best. Ek Bhakti Vishishyate, actually, it's explained as we discussed that this Jnani is engaging only in devotional service and he is not engaging into the Gyan Yoga now. Okay. Basically, that is the understanding here. Okay, so but the words of your answer should be directly from the purport of Prabhupada, then it is better. So you can search out the Prabhupada's purport. What is the exact? Because generally the questions are formed from the purports of Prabhupada. Okay, so the words which are there in the question will be mostly in the answer. So
Actually, I read the purport
Hmm.
and there were multiple lines actually. First part of the purport also speaks the same thing, and the second part of the purport also speaks the same thing, but the different languages are used. So I
okay.
was like, should I write the whole purport then?
No.
So I was
So how
actually
many
trying to
marks
find the
question?
exact. Just two marks maybe, that's it.
Yeah, so
Who
you
is
can
best
write
and
2
why?
points. 2 points from the purport you can write. Why Prabhupada writes that he is why he is best. No? That is the question.
Actually, what I have understood is, Tuesday, I just wanted to tell you. Prabhupada is saying here, just a second. That first, because he is in knowledge of the absolute truth, and plus he is also, second is, he is free from all material desires, and that is why he is exclusively engaged in the devotional services. The same line has been mentioned in the last lines of this purport, where Prabhupada is writing, but in the preparatory stage, the man who is in full knowledge of the Supreme Lord and is at the same time executing devotional service is very dear to the Lord. He who is situated in pure knowledge of the transcendence of the Supreme Lord of God is so protected in devotional service that material contamination cannot touch him. So, what I understood is he is best, I mean, he's considered best because he's exclusively engaged in devotional services, and that devotional services protects him from the contamination of material or illusory energy. That is why there is no chance of his falling back to the material world. Maybe that is why he's considered.
Yeah, actually, that is a result of his being best, that he is not contaminated by the metal things. But what I understand here is reason is because of two things, as you told. One is because of his knowledge, full knowledge of the absolute truth, and second one is he is free from the desires. Right, that first part of the purport where you were saying, na? Okay, he who is in full knowledge of the absolute truth and free from material desires becomes
And
really
at the
pure
same
devotee.
time, yes, and at the same time engaged in the devotional service. Is
Yeah, so
Lord
this
saying the best?
correct. Yeah, so these 2-3 points are sufficient actually.
Okay, Benji. And the other one is from chapter 2. Actually, I have to go through the questions of so probably
Yeah,
next
no,
class
you
I
can ask next Saturday. We will discuss.
that's what I'm saying, Prabhuji. The other question I'll be asking the next Saturday.
Yeah.
One is actually it is about the age of the Kal. Just a second. Wait, please. There are two questions from this section in 1.17. So first is directly asked what is the life of Brahma